Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. A double recap. A lot to talk about today. 2 games, both starting around the same time. One game is already over. The other game is still in progress. So we'll go over these 2 games, and we're going to talk about the pitch clock. But before I do that, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button to help this video out. Also, we're trying to get to 1,000 before the season starts. So let's keep pushing and keep growing. So the Yankees had a split squad doubleheader today. One at home against the Braves and the other in Dunedin, Florida against the Blue Jays. So we'll talk about the home game first because that game has concluded, and we'll go from there. So the Yankees were able to win their first spring training game of the year. They beat the Braves 7-0. The box score reads as this: Atlanta 0 runs, 1 hit, no errors. And the Yankees 7 runs on 10 hits and 1 error. So pretty good offensive pouring right here. You had a lot of regulars in the lineup today. You had Torres, you had Judge, you had Hicks, you had Trevino, Peraza was in there as well. You had Defoe, and as well as McKinney, guys that you might see on the roster. So offensively, the Yankees look good. Torres again with a strong day, 2 for 2 with a run scored. Judge went 1 for 1 with a walk. Hicks, he went 1 for 3 with a strikeout and a run scored. And Trevino, of course, with the grand slam in the first inning to put the Yankees up 4-0. And after it was pretty much curtains after that. Now, what's interesting is we were talking about Hicks in another video, and he got booed. And it's funny because he got booed and then he got a hit and he got cheered. So, you see how fans can really change on a dime. But it's interesting to see that he got booed in his first at-bat at home in spring training. Okay? So, again, the fans will always tell you how they feel. And they're telling people how they feel about Hicks by getting booed. Now, Donaldson was in the other lineup in Dunedin, but, that's a road game, so you really don't have a pulse for that. But so just to kind of go over some of these at-bats. Torres looks good. He looked good yesterday. He looked good today. Judge, again, he only had really one true at-bat, that was recorded because of the walk. He looked good. Trevino with the hit. He went 1 for 2. So, strikeouts were down. I don't count the kids striking out, which is, why would you? You got to see Sweeney again. Sweeney came in and played for Peraza. Peraza had a nice day. He had, in 3 at-bats, he had a hit, a walk, and a strikeout. We're going to talk about him and Volpe because Volpe played in the other game as well. You got to see Sweeney. You got a Spencer Jones sighting. Big Spencer Jones playing center field, coming in late in the game. He went 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Kind of looked a little. He looked like he was pressing a little bit. Kind of swung over some pitches, but remember, he's further away than most of them. So just the fact that he's here, getting some at bats is important, and it's exciting. Now with the pitching was great today. Clark Schmidt threw 2 innings of 5 strikeout baseball, no hits, no runs. He looked great. He's competing for that 5 spot that Montas left open with Herman. So he's showing really well what he can do. He's added a cutter. His problem last year was lefties, and lefties hit 286 against him last year. So he added a cutter to kind of eliminate the lefties and kind of cut down on the average a little bit. He threw it looked good. So he's adapting, and if he can continue to have a strong spring, we're going to be saying Montas who. But again, you got to see Albert Abreu had a clean inning. You also looking here, you got to see Davy Garcia. 2 innings worth of work, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk. Will Warren, guy in Double-A last year, looked good. He gave up the only hit today for the pitching staff. And then Clayton Beeter rounded it out with 3 strikeouts and a couple of walks. And Beeter kind of looked a little off to me mechanically, flying open, kind of leaving a lot of stuff arm side. But you could see the arm talent. You can see he's as advertised. A lot of high strikeouts, high walks. And that's what he gave you today. So, just kind of going over how the Yankees look today. In the first game, they look great. A lot of positive things, good at bats. They look comfortable. Watching Glaber get a couple of hits was important. It's early. It's only the second game. There's not, these kids are excited. They're trying to make their mark. We got to see if they can sustain what they're doing. Yes, it's good to see 2 good games out of these kids from Dominguez to Volpe. Volpe had a big day today in Dunedin. We'll get to him in a second. Peraza had a good day. It's important. And it's good that these kids are in competition because it brings the best out of them. Nothing's going to be handed to them. They have to earn it. And the fact that they have to earn it allows them to actually show up when they need to. So The second game we're going to cover is the Blue Jay game, the Yankee Blue Jay game. It's still in progress. As of right now, I have the game day up on the computer. The Yankees are up 9-5 in the top of the 8th. So it looks like they're going to go to a sweep, which is great. So a few regulars in this lineup. Volpe led off. You had Donaldson, and that was it, regular-wise. So no Stanton still, no Rizzo still, no LeMahieu. They still haven't made their debuts yet. Maybe they'll make their debut tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's a night game at 6:30 at home. So, maybe you'll see Stanton and Rizzo and LeMahieu and some of the other guys we haven't seen yet, like Higgy as well, if Higgy hasn't left for the WBC yet, in that game. So you got to see most of the guys in these first couple of days, but you haven't seen anybody. So first, before we talk about Volpe, let's talk about Donaldson really quick. Donaldson was 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk. Okay, so he had three total at bats. I didn't watch this game. I was following it on game day. I was watching the game on the S Network. So I'm just going through the numbers here, but I did see the highlights of Volpe. So Volpe went 2 for 4, 2 runs scored. But the most important thing was he showed off his speed. He stole second and third consecutively. And that's important. That's part of his game. That's something the Yankees don't have. They don't have that guy that can run the bases well and steal bases on a consistent basis. You have Bader that can steal bases. Judge can steal a base for you every once in a while. So can Torres. Rizzo can do it very slimmingly, but he can do it when he's sneaky. But Volpe adds that aspect to a lineup that doesn't have it. And, he didn't strike out. He put the ball in play all 4 at-bats today, which is important to see as well. So pitching-wise for the Yankees really wasn't anybody that of importance. Thorpe threw 2/3 of an inning with a walk up to this point. But again, like I said, this game is still in progress. It's 9-5 at the top of the 8th right now with 2 outs, runners on the corner. So this game is still in progress. Hopefully they don't make me change my title, because my title of this video is Yankee Sweep Doubleheader. So, I'm putting it in the hands of the Yankees to finish the job. So that's the game recap. Now, the pitch clock. I did a video maybe a month and a half ago getting ahead of the new rules, because everybody was going to start looking for videos. So if you want a new rule, more in depth on the new rules, go find that video. I'll post it as the video at the end of this video so you can go right to it to help you out. So this pitch clock rule, okay, it has shortened the games. You're seeing 2.5 hours, 2:45. It is shortening the game, because according to Michael Kay in the broadcast today, because that's all they talked about. They talked about the new rules and everything like that. Kay said that it was 4 minutes between each pitch. So now you're getting 15 seconds in between each pitch. Of course, it's going to cut time off the game. But I do have a problem, and I think a lot of people have the same problem. Yesterday it was the Brave Red Sox game. The game was decided on a pitch clock violation. So the game ended 6-6. It was the bottom of the 9th. It was tied. The bases were loaded. It was a 3-2 pitch. Pitch clock violation. Game ends in a tie. That can't happen. That cannot happen. Because what if you are in the World Series? Let's just say the Yankees are in the World Series. It's Game 7. It's a tie ball game. They got the bases loaded, right? Judge is up with a 3-2 pitch. And he's not ready facing the hitter with 8 seconds left on the clock. And the umpire calls him out. We go to extra innings. The Yankees lose the game in extra innings. The pitch clock, as much of a fan as I'm turning into with it, because it really does speeden up the game, and it's interesting to see the constant action, even though I am a purist and I do not want it. I can see why it's important, but it should not be deciding outcomes of games. That's not what it's for. That's not what it's there for. So they need to amend this rule. Now, this is the important thing is that it's happening during spring training, so they can make modifications to the rule. They should eliminate the pitch clock in the 9th inning. That's what they should do. Top 9, once the 9th inning rolls around, once extra innings roll around, because you already have the Manfred man on second base, and that's something that's going to stay, unfortunately. I hate that rule too. I hate Manfred to begin with. I think that he needs to go and needs to get an actual baseball guy here instead of him trying to change the game for the generation that has a short attention span. If you don't like the pace of the game, go watch something else. You shouldn't be catering to these people. But they need to make this amendment because, again, the game cannot be decided on a pitch clock. It's asinine. It's stupid. You can't do that. You can't that could be that game that's decided by a pitch clock violation can mean a division. It can mean an American League or National League pennant. It can mean a wild card berth. Like, there's so many implications to it. A game in April that is decided by a pitch clock violation might cost a team a division crown in October. Because if they lose by a half game or a game, and who's to say they would have won the game if that wasn't for that pitch clock violation? Now you're affecting these teams in a negative way. Now, it's a simple fix. You can have the pitch clock for 8 innings. That's fine. But once you get into the 9th inning, and maybe you could add if it's a save situation, the pitch clock is eliminated for the 9th inning in a save situation. For the inning. And it doesn't matter if the closer blows it or the game is put out of reach, you can't implement it. It's for the 9th inning, and if the game is entering the 9th inning with a save situation in the top of the 9th or in the bottom of the 9th, if there's a save situation present, the pitch clock is eliminated. If the game is out of hand and it don't matter, you keep the pitch clock for the 9th inning. It's that simple. Because, a lot of people were against these rule changes to begin with. And you're giving them more evidence to show that it's ruining the game. Especially if games are being decided by the pitch clock. Yeah, it's like a shot clock in basketball. People are going to say, well, the shot clock turns off. There is no shot clock after 24 seconds. The shot clock isn't reduced. So there is no clock in baseball. They shouldn't be putting clocks on baseball. That's the reason why it's such a great game, because there is no clock. So stop trying to add a clock to it. Baseball is a game that ages like a fine wine. You don't need to rush it. It just drives me crazy. It does. And like I said, yeah, I'm becoming a fan of it because of the pace of play and it's more action. I like that. But again, at the same time, I do not want it affecting games in the sense of outcomes. But you guys tell me what you think in the comment section below. What do you think of the pitch clock so far, what you've seen? What do you think of the non-shifting rules? What do you think of that? Go check out the other video that's right here at the bottom to go see it. So I'll catch you guys on the next video, which should be tomorrow night or Tuesday afternoon. We'll see if I can get it to it tomorrow night. I have plans Monday night, so we'll see what happens. But I'll catch you guys on the next video.